Haraim Tovim, I hope this message finds you well and in good spirits and in good health. I want to share with you an insight about Parashat Balak. Bilam, this famous sorcerer in the Middle East, is a very peculiar character. On the one hand, he has divine access, Yodea Dat Elyon. He could see visions, he has prophecy. On the other hand, he is blinded by what's right in front of him. His own donkey can see what he cannot see, a Malach Hashem trying to stop him from going to curse the Jewish people. Bilam cannot see that God really doesn't want him to go do this, and yet he goes and does it. So Bilam is blinded. He's blinded by money, by avarice, a desire for power. And this raises a really good question for us. What are we blinded to in our own society? What are we not seeing? And I think one answer to this question is that we are blinded by our ideology, by politics. Politics dominates our discourse. What miflaga are you part of? Left, right, anti, pro, liberal, conservative, Tory. Everything has been dominated by a political discourse which stereotypes and generalizes, which doesn't see any room for any nuance. What race are you part of? Both on the left and the right, identity politics, racism on the right and the left are blinding us from seeing people as they are, as human beings, as everybody endowed with a Tzelem Elokim. There's this beautiful story that I read about this week about a commander in the American Army during World War II by the name of John Withers. John Withers was the head of a truck company who helped to liberate Dachau. And when he was in Dachau, two Jews by the name of Pee-wee and Solomon, as they came to be known, begged John Withers for help. And he and his unit took in these Jews. Now, this is significant because he went against army law. They were not allowed to help refugees, and yet they took care of him for the next year and a half in the war front in Europe. But more importantly, John Withers was black, and therefore he was in a unit that was segregated in the American army. So even though he had been mistreated and segregated against, he still was able to rise above that and see the humanity in these two Jews who were in Auschwitz and Dachau and were literally emaciated, skin and bones. And what we learned from here is that we have to move away from these political ideologies that blind us and learn to see a human being as they are, to see people's humanity. The first response we should always have to be one of compassion, to see the goodness in another person, to see the Tzelem Elokim. These are some of the things that we need to start seeing, which are right in front of us, which sometimes blind us in our current political discourse. And we learn the lesson from Bilam. Bilam was blinded from what was right in front of him, and John Withers was able to see the humanity of those who needed help right in front of him. Wishing you all a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Stay safe. Come to shul if you can make it. We'll be davening outside. We look forward to seeing you at Tefillah or at Sfidah Shlishit. Kol Tuv. Shabbat Shalom.